Before it becomes a pie, it has to go through a process. Nobody eats raw flour. Nobody brings a flour and eat it without preparing a dough and making a pie or pizza or anything out of it. Hello, this is Pastor Oge. Welcome. God cannot give you an uncooked blessing or take you to an unprepared level. He's making it yummy. It's not a delay or a disappointment. You are going through a process. No one eats an uncooked flour. It has to go through a process before it becomes a yummy pie. Everything in life has a process. Yes, when you are going through that process, don't think that God has left you. When you are going through that process, don't you dare think that God has abandoned you. Yesterday, I was watching my favorite YouTuber mixing a dough for delicious meat pies. I began to think about what I had gone through and where I am now. Then it dawned on me that I was actually going through a process. God was getting me ready for the task ahead. He did not leave me. He was not punishing me. He didn't even remember my sins. He did not neglect me, but he was taking me through a process. Just like the pies, you have to take it through a process for it to come out a very yummy, delicious pie. He did not leave me and my family to forage for a living. Rather, he took us through a process to make a better living. God will tear you and then open you up. God will crack you open and cut you open. Then he will begin to fix you from the inside. It's a process. It is not a punishment. It is not a delay, but it is a process. He was making me better than I was. He washed me so that I could shine and become better. Just as I watched this lady mix the flour and prepared the dough, prepared the filling, and then, mix them up and roll them, it looks as if she was actually punishing the flour and trying to, squeeze it to death. But no, she was actually taking it through a process. She was actually trying to mix it up, trying to add everything that will make it a delicious pie. But while you are watching it, it will look as if she is actually punishing the pie, the dough. So you see, that is what we go through. That is what we go through. A process. Just as we're watching her now, mixing the flour, preparing the filling, and then, trying to use the filling and mixing everything up, putting the meat and frying the onions to put them together to get a very delicious filling for the pie. That is it. That's how God prepares us for that level. If the level is too high, you will have to go through a process to get there. If you want a delicious meal, you will have to cook it. You can't drink your urine just because you needed to quench your thirst. No, nobody drinks a urine. You have to go and find where there is a clean water, even if it takes you trekking from where you are to another city for you to get a clean water to drink. You will do it. Nobody drinks a urine when there is an option of having a good and a clean water. So God takes us through a process. God takes us through a process. It is not a punishment, but a process. That's why the Bible says in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6, it says, trust in the Lord and do not lean on your own understanding. It says, submit to God, submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Meaning that you need to submit to God. You need to believe in him with all your heart. You need to submit yourself to God, and he will make your path straight. He will do it when you trust him. When you trust and believe in that process, when you don't go about looking for solution where there is no solution, when you don't go about listening to some people and some of your friends that are telling you, come, let's go here, there is solution there. God is the only one that gives a perfect solution. Yes, even though it may take time, but God gives a perfect solution. While you are praying to God and asking God for something, and God is busy preparing it just the way you prepare a pie, you have to learn how to be patient, how to wait. You understand? Yes, God answers prayers. No matter who you are and where you are coming from, trust God. He gives rain and sunshine to both the poor and the rich. To everyone, God cannot leave those seeking Him unrewarded, no matter their past mistakes. Yes, no matter what is going on around you, child of God, do not give up on God. He is not giving up on you. He is fixing that situation. That's what God is doing. He is fixing that pain. He is fixing that delay. He is fixing that hardship, that disappointment, that sadness, that betrayal, that sickness, that childlessness, that singlehood, that business, that career, that marriage. God is fixing everything concerning you. God is fixing you. That is why it's always good to believe and trust God. Whatever that is going on, don't call it a delay or trial. Just call it a process. You understand? Because while you are praying to God to give you a blessing, the devil is somewhere listening. So when you begin to lose hope and lose trust in God, the devil will bring a fake one, bring something that is not the actual thing that God has for you, and then place it right in front of you. And you begin to thank God that God has done it. That is why sometimes it will be as if a blessing that God gave to you did not last, or maybe that blessing has turned sour. It turned sour because God did not give that. It turned sour because you did not wait on God. It turned sour because you stopped trusting God. It turned sour because you gave up the time that you should be praying and believing in God. You gave up. Don't give up on God. It's only a process. It's not a delay. It's not a disappointment. It's not a denial. It's not a refusal, but a process. So the pies came out looking yummy, and that's how you are coming out of that situation looking fresh. And then you will realize that God was actually fixing everything that concerns your life.
When I remember the great things you have done, oh, your mommy, I bow down and worship. When I remember your love.